Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy SonTj. How's it going? So it's been a very long time since I've done an anime review. I think I've reviewed both Two Heroes and Heroes Rising for My Academia. I've been doing a lot of My Academia just videos in general, reviewing the manga, talking about the spoilers. And I've been a little bit afraid to take risks on this channel because just knowing the history of the algorithm and stuff. But I want to give this a shot, so hopefully this video does well. But today, we're here to review My Academia World of Heroes, the movie. I just came from Alamo Drafthouse. My first time going to that theater. If you're in San Antonio, actually Alamo Drafthouse is pretty cool. Like, they actually have strict rules on talking to theaters and pretty chill stuff. And they have like decent food. So yeah. My Academia has a little bit of a formula with their movies. They like to stay canon, you know, quote unquote canon. While in the movies, they have like these world devastating like threats, and then it kind of goes back to status quo in some way to fit in with the story. And like, for example, with Two Heroes, if you read the manga, like spoilers for the manga, there's a character that their entire backstory is from Two Heroes. So these movies are canon. Like, even though it feels weird where it's like world-ending events, then it goes back to status quo. Then we're supposed to go right back to where the manga is and focus on All for One and Shigaraki and stuff. So, but yeah, these are canon. So, with World of Heroes, for like non-spoilers, let's just talk about how it treats its characters. So, of course, the main focus of this is Izuku Midoriya. Like, you know, ever since All Might has kind of retired in Two Heroes happened, because in Two Heroes, All Might and Deku was kind of like the main characters, but after that, in Heroes Rising was Bakugo and Deku, and then this one, the big three, is Shoto's return, Bakugo, and Deku. And also we got a new character, because in each of these movies, they bring in a character that's like kind of movie only. Also, they give you a book. Yeah, it's like a little book that kind of gives like a different designs and stuff. I don't know. When I go to other movie theaters, they don't really hand out these type of things. But the new character's name is Roddy Soul, and I think he does a pretty good job, man. Like, again, you don't get that much screen time. Well, you get a lot of screen time with the character. I just say, like, in terms of like a main storyline character, his screen time is short in comparison. But you feel for the character. You know, he's not annoying overall. Pretty chill. The music is pretty standard by My Academia music. You have like some cool new designs, and again, it does stay a little bit consistent in the Endeavor training arc where he's training Deku and everyone else like that. The villains are pretty cool. The main villain, he's a little bit like his backstory of why he does what he does is kind of like by the numbers. The heroes they introduce is pretty cool, but yeah, the main villain is a character called Flex. Then you have like different like villains that are supposed to be like the side villains for Shoto and Bakugo's fights. And I'll say this, the formula of like having these really big events and going back to status quo does kill the tension a little bit. I'm going to talk about the spoilers, but there's certain things I thought was going to happen that would have been really impactful for this mini story that the impact kind of leaves right after. The animation is insane, but I'll say this. There's some animation where it gets very, because like if you watch Endeavor versus High End, or you watch like Shoto versus Deku like in season 1, there is like, you know, the cube animation. If you know the animator, you know the anime. I don't know every animator's name. That it kind of lasts for too long, and you just start seeing mad cubes for like a good like 30 seconds, where we're usually used to it for like maybe a couple like 5 or 10 seconds. It's kind of weird, but overall you can kind of tell. Well, I think we're in season 5 or season 4, but you got to see why season 5 kind of struggled, because they put all their best animators in this film. So look, I like these films, but I just wish some of this production would go into the seasons. But again, the stories are pretty cool so far. It just, yeah. I would say the animation is, you know, is the best it's ever been, especially in that finale. That finale is incredible when you get, you know, those spoilers there. The villains are kind of by the book. They're not really that interesting, to be honest with you. The most interesting characters is literally the side character, which is the Soul. the brother named Soul, Roddy Soul. He's a pretty fun character, pretty fun side character. So yeah, like a non-spoiler review, I'll give it like a 6 to a 7 out of 10. I love the animation. It's just the story. It's just the formula of like introducing a side character that's really part of the story, having these villains that are going to be killed off by the end of the movie. You know all the characters are going to live because, you know, this is an in-between an arc. So the sense of danger is not really there. Again, you feel for the characters because they go through struggles. But again, it's like, God, no, everything's going to be okay. And even some of the side characters, you know, is what it is there. So to talk about spoilers here, I like Roddy Soul's, actually, hold up. You know, give you a couple seconds. Please like, subscribe, share. We're in the middle of the video. So if you got this far, you probably like my content. So I got plenty more content. Check out the merch, all those things. So Roddy Soul's quirk is that he has this like little bird that's kind of like, you know, the little kawaii thing of the movie. And it reveals his true feelings. And that's something they kind of hide throughout the film. With Deku, Shoto, and Bakugo's fight, it still feels like it's Deku, the main guy, which he is the main character, and Bakugo has the better fights, and Shoto kind of has the lackluster fights. Like, the man is just getting his A-whooped, freezes a bunch, then he finally releases his fire quirk and just kind of wins, and he always, like, falls down somewhere. Like, I remember in Heroes Rising, he does the same freezing thing. Granted, he does it by himself this time, but I just still feel like Shoto, even though he's one of the bigger three in here, he talks to his father more, it just feels like he's the third wheel instead of being like right up there with Bakugo and Deku. Again, like the pro heroes, they're pretty cool in this, but you know, me knowing the manga and seeing like Star and Stripes, seeing what she can do, it's been really cool to see some of the US heroes, but of course they couldn't have them in here for those reasons. The main villain though, Flex, he's just not that interesting, man. Again, like I'm glad that he pushes Deku to use full cowling 100% all for one for all, but he's not as strong as the first movie or the second movie villains. He'll definitely lose to like the higher tier pro heroes. Like again, I'm glad that Deku goes into that. Like it's kind of weird animation though, when he's like doing like a bunch of punches and he's standing still. It's like it's a little awkward, but again, that animator, he's like the finale animator in like all these films, and like he's the same animator who animated when Deku fought Overhaul and all those type of fights. So again, he did a great job. I think his best work was definitely in Heroes Rising though, when Deku and Bakugo had the BS power-ups. But yeah, he just wasn't that much of a strong villain. His motivations was kind of like, oh, I have a quirk that I can't control, so they're evil, and I rock with the humans that are not. It's just like, I guess. Like I said before, I feel like even though Shoto had the better like boss who had a better design, Bakugo and Deku kind of stole the show. Here's the biggest thing for me. Like again, I don't mind if Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto are not going to die. Of course, they're not going to die. It's like in between an arc. But I really thought Roddy Soul was going to die. Like it really felt like he was going to die. And then they just started laughing. I'm like, isn't this nigga bleeding out? And everything's good. Everything's back to normal. No, it's like there's no consequences. Again, I don't need every film to be like that. Like, again, no shots at a YouTuber called High Top Films, but he always likes to have struggle films, people dying, type of that. Like, I don't need every film to equate to like, you know, the struggle, people dying, consequences. I know some stories can have like quote unquote consequences, but it's just really suspense. I understand that, but I really felt like that character dying would have been really impactful. But I don't know, maybe that would have ruined the canon, because in this manga chapter here, they do have like an after credit stuff here where you can like read what happened after the movie. So I know that's a thing, but yeah, it's just, I don't know if I'm tired of the formula. You know what I mean? Like the whole introduce side character that carries the plot, have Deku go into 100% full calorie. Like, in my personal opinion, if we get another movie, which I hope we don't, because we can put all this animation into the season. Because I saw the last season, bro. Like, the best animated stuff was when Shigaraki gets white hair. I was like, and when homie with the glasses does that one cool scene where he has like the full jets on his leggings. I'm sorry if I can't remember his name right now. So, like if they get another movie, man, I just really want like a really badass animation of All Might versus Overhaul. You know what I mean? Like, not overall, All Might versus All For One in their prime. That'd be really great, but I'm guessing they're going to say that for the actual series. But again, if y'all keep making these movies where these over the top, the world is going to end, then we go to the manga and no one talks about it. But the only thing we see is, because I remember, you know, we see 9 in the manga. We see one of the characters. I know it's like the Pharaoh 2, like, because it's like a Pharaoh character who's like, he's like a like paper, and you see him in the manga. But if we're going to have all these world big events, and it just all goes back to status quo at the end of the movie, it's like, I just rather we not have a movie and put that towards the season. But I don't know, maybe I'm being too negative. I know people are mad sensitive if you criticize these type of things. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you made it this far, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. It helps out the channel a lot. We're at 20K. I really want to get to 50K, but I know that's pretty hard. But, you know, let's go plus ultra on that like button, subscribe button. So, yeah, I'll rate this movie 6 to 7 out of 10. Again, love the animation. Just the formula, it was cool the first time because it's something new. We see Deku and All Might working together. Second time, you get to see Bakugo and Deku become like the Goku Vegeta of this story. And this time, we see Shoto. He comes in to help, but he still feels like a third wheel. And, you know, Soul, he's a cool side character, but the main villain is the most lackluster I've ever seen. Like, the coolest villain out of all these movies is definitely 9. Then, like, I like the first one because he gives All Might a challenge. I know All Might is weakened, but, like, you know, he gives it a challenge. Well, this one, it's like he just feels weaker as a character, and also in terms of abilities. He's not one of the strongest movie villains. Like, he was struggling against like regular Deku, and he just eventually kept wearing him down. Then, like, 100% full Kowlin just came in and wrecked shop. So, hope you guys enjoyed my review, man. SonTj, peace. Love you all.